you must be delighted with that, particularly with the patience that you players showed throughout the 90 minutes.
First and
foremost,
that's
a good word actually, what you're saying, because we did show big patience, and in the end, sort of the resilience and the character of the players and how they've been performing. And I wouldn't even say in weeks, I'd say now probably in the last year and a half at least, is sort of shone through today. So lots of good performances, lots of good things. So no, great credit to the players for how they continue to grow.
Cheers, Sammy. Charlie White, come to you next.
Hi, David.
Hi, Charlie.
Pleasing, is it, that you've come off the back of a European fixture and had this performance? Because obviously your previous two games, you had really disappointing late goals you conceded. So, because it is so relentless, what can that do to the team's confidence that you can play in Europe and then actually still have such a great win?
I don't think it's easy in whatever league. I just mentioned it out there. I don't think it's easy if you're in to win 3 games in a week. No, we've had to play Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, and pick up 3 results is great credit again. I just think the players have done a great job. Not just the players today, but even the squad of players have done a great job, because I needed them in midweek. And we're still getting used to it. We're still trying to find the right balance and the right blend in all the games to try and get things right. And yeah, I didn't think we were fatigued today. I just think we were up against a strong Tottenham team who've got big threats, and we found a way of winning it in a different way than last week. We had so much of the ball at Everton, but still only scored 1 goal from a set piece today. We might have had a bit less of the ball today, but we still found a way of getting a goal.
Cheers, Charlie. Azia?
Hi, David.
Hi, Azia.
A man of the match award was given to Kurt Zuma, but I thought Cresswell on the left had an excellent game. What's your view on that?
I actually thought that all the defenders played very well. I actually thought young Ben Johnston, when you think that we've been without a couple of the right backs recently, I think Ben Johnston's had 3 games this week, and I thought he was fabulous. But Cresswell's been reliable, steady, very consistent, and obviously, he's got himself another assist. But I'm sure there'll be a question probably somewhere about the set pieces. I mean, I think before Everton, I don't think we'd scored a goal hardly from a set piece this season. But this week we've sort of hit the jackpot, and we've got a goal from set pieces in all the games.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sam D next. Thank you.
Hi, David. I was going to ask you about set pieces. I'll speak to Kurt Zuma. Just how quickly he's adapted to the team and how well he played today. Is he sort of ahead of the curve in terms of what you're expecting?
Well, I think that when we signed Kurt, the idea was that we knew someone who had Premier League experience, had come from a really big club and was young enough to help us hopefully for several years. So that was the sort of thought process behind it. But we've just mentioned how well Aaron Cresswell's played. You've mentioned Kurt Zuma. We've mentioned Ben Johnston. So I think the defensive boys today had a really good performance. But you look at the team in midweek, how well Craig Dawson and Issa Diop's played in the game. So at the moment we'll need to be strong, because there'll be bigger games and harder games and many more games coming up where we're going to need them to defend well.
Thanks, Sam. Matt Dunn? Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Perfect.
It takes a certain type of player to win these London derbies, it seems. And you've got a fairly good record against Spurs recently. Is it because you've got those characters in your team? And is there anything you can do about it if you don't?
I think we're growing the characters at the moment. I think if you look at these boys, whether we are maybe a few years ago or 2 years ago, I think they've all blossomed. They're all feeling important. They're all thinking that they can make a difference. And I think that's within the club. I think the club West Ham is blossoming now. That comes from the team, and it comes from the inside the building. I mean, the support today was fantastic, Matt, as well, inside as it would be, as you would expect for a derby. But I just think those players are all improving together, and it's a big thing to have.
Cheers, Matt. Roshane?
Hi there.
Just on Cresswell, he's got 3 assists so far this season. Last season, he provided 8 assists. I'm just wondering, when it comes to set pieces, how important is he? Because one could argue he's one of the best set piece takers in the league.
Yeah, I think what he would say and I would say is, I said it the other week, Roisin, is to say is I think to have a really good deliverer is hugely important. I might argue that having people who are aggressive and really good in the air might be the next bit, and I think we've got 2 or 3 of them who can do that as well, which helps. But, and I'm just saying this, and don't quote me until you find out, Roisin, is I think the year before we came in, we were saying that we thought he had no assists and no goals. So if you look back, you might know better than me. So I think for Aaron Cresswell, and we talked about just the development of all the players and how their characters and how they've all grown. Aaron Cresswell has become really, really important to us for that. But I'm sure he's realising as well, he's developing as well and getting better, even at the age he's at. He's becoming a really important player to us.
And another goal from Antonio, 6 league goals so far this season. He looks like he could score 15 goals just based on his current form. Just wondering how impressive you've been with his performances.
Well, I hope he does, because we need we're forward, because we want the forward boys to come up with goals, and we know we rely on Mick a lot, but the former Jared Bowen recently, and Said, how well he's adapted to the Premier League, Pablo as well. So we'll have Nicky Vlasic coming in shortly as well, and the likes of Yarmolenko as well. We need them all to contribute to the goals tally. But while the centre halves can help out as well, that's good. But all credit to Mick today, getting another goal, being Johnny on the spot, it's a great thing.
And last for me, David, this win today, did you reckon it shows that in many ways last season wasn't a one-off? You're capable of doing that again?
Yeah, I'm pleased with today's win, because there was a resilience to the team. We won. I think our football has been so good. Some of our football this season has been so good. Today it was slightly different, but it was still good. And it was resilient, and it was still remnants of how you're going to have to defend well if you don't always have the ball and what you need to be in. And we showed that today.